go. Commsverse, day 2, guys. Day 2. Commsverse TV. 4 episodes today. Go on, Mark. Say hi. Hey, Mark. Well done. There you go. And we're starting off with our sponsored guest. Maureen and I are here to host them through it, along with Momentum, who are also on here in the exhibition. Have been watching us all day because you're only a few meters down the road. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Okay, very good. I'm Rick Garcia, Momentum. I look after product and marketing at Momentum, mostly in the modern workspace. That's why we're here.
Cool. And we have?
And good morning. I'm Brandon from Momentum. I'm kind of partnered with Rick looking after modern work innovation. So developing kind of modern work applications and solutions that we take to market.
Oh, so you actually create solutions that is packagized and marketed as a goal, as a product, if you like.
Yeah, we do. So we take, obviously we take the Microsoft stack, right, and work the Microsoft stack, and we build solutions around that for customers. But then we also take a bit of an ISV approach, if you will, where we're building solutions that we think are going to solve problems that we see, North America and Europe, right, globally, where we see some solutions that aren't out in the market just yet. And because we have a wide range of customers, we get to see a different perspective. We get to see kind of a global view of what customers are experiencing, and then Brandon's team vets out what's an opportunity for us, and we do a bit of a market case, market study, and we go, this is a viable business here. Brandon, let's figure out how we can build this.
So are we talking Teams apps? Are we talking Power Apps? Are we talking AI?
Well, we're kind of dipping our toe in AI right now, kind of exploring mostly around Copilot Studio solutions. Nothing to market yet, nothing that I think we're ready to talk about. Today our focus is we're doing, and here we are in the UK, we got some chuckles, but we have some attention as well. We're working on a Teams application that's kind of native-esque to Teams that brings faxing into the Microsoft ecosystem, leveraging.
That brings what in? Fax?
Yeah, fax.
That's the
reaction that
that is
excuse
the response
me.
we get.
See, yesterday and today I've been learning so many new things about really old technology. Yesterday I learned that because of the weather, phantom calls can be made because of electronics shit. And now I learned that faxes are still happening.
Yeah, and so there's an interesting, if you go out and you kind of do searches for kind of the market studies around fax, it's a massive economy in the United States and Canada, and actually we're learning huge in Germany still.
Yeah, $3 billion and growing.
Of course.
Yeah.
$3 billion and growing.
$3 billion in revenue, estimated to hit $6.5 billion by 2028 in revenue.
It's
So
growing. I was shocked to see that. It's
How?
growing. Well, so here's the thing: organizations, particularly in North America, right, and Germany, some European countries as well, there's regulations around how they transmit data for healthcare, finance, prescription drugs, those sorts of things.
All the shit we've got control of in Europe and we're good. In the US, they're still paper-based.
Yeah, it's kind of think about it as like courier service, right? If it's a legal document that I have to physically hand to you, in the U.S. sometimes the only way that's accepted, if it's not me physically handing it to you, is a fax.
By fax.
And we talk to a lot of customers.
I'm going to use its scientific name, facsimile.
Yeah, facsimiles.
Yeah.
The official. No, but
And
we talked
actually,
to
the first fax was 1870-something.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that. That's a bit of a factoid for
Really?
us.
Yeah. I mean, all right. I might have the
Was there
70 bit wrong, but it
electricity
was,
by then?
I don't know. The guy on the bike, I've got no idea. But the first facsimile or the transmission of paper to paper was late 1800s, late 1900s.
Let me fact check this.
You fact
we
check
got
that.
to fact check.
First
While-
fax.
While you're looking that up, I'll just say we spend a lot of time talking to our potential customers, our customer base, and they, there's a lot of them that have told us that they need fax in Teams to consider it a holistic solution when they compare it to the competitor space, like the Ring Centrals of the world. So we listened, and we took charge. So if you're interested, we'll show it over here later today.
And it sits right next to chat and SMS and all the new things, right? And it sits right next to that, and then you've got fax native in Teams for you.
That's but I have to say, he was right. 1865.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
just put you live on the screen while you did the search.
11 years before they invented the telephone.
Yep.
Wow. We've got to dig pretty deep for the patent then, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, the pattern will have run out by now, point one. And point two, telegraph was there before voice. So you had the wires in place all the way down the railway lines to go tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
So somebody just said, hey, we can turn those ticks into an image and put a machine and do it that way.
That's how the internet was born.
And
Yeah,
that's how
okay. Anyway,
And that's why we're here today.
well, you of course make other things next to fax.
Yeah, so
stuff as
we,
well,
we
yeah.
build the phone solution for organizations. We manage it. We're the telecom carrier. So it's interesting because we find that either organizations work with Microsoft partners that aren't telcos; they're just Microsoft partners, right? Or they've got a telco and they've got a partner, and we're that sort of hybrid where we go very deep on the Microsoft stack. Brandon's team goes very deep on that, and then we're the telco globally, right? We deliver IP globally. We deliver voice and operator connect and direct routing globally.
Nice.
And then we're just adding other solutions.
Yeah,
in.
and to, I'll say steal or borrow, we have a good Microsoft friend out of the Netherlands. Shout out to Roy, if he's tuned in or if this is live. You know, I think, Rick, you did a panel at Cavell Group a year ago or so talking about this shift in mindset that telcos, traditional service providers, to kind of stay up to speed and relevant in the space,
Yep.
they need to shift their mindset from being that telco to more of a techco mindset of it's going to go beyond that demarc of delivering voice and creating a full
Service offering
solution
around voice.
Yeah, wrapped around how businesses automate their workflows, how they work through, whatever their business flow needs are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking myself that, and now with especially a lot of the transcripts being taken of calls, using that text to actually start workflows and stuff, but actually by taking particular words or sentences, so that you can start off or start generating meetings or ideas collections from those things. That's got to come around the corner at some point.
Yep.
So maybe the kind of AI on our voice solutions is going to be there.
Yeah, that's
So
going to be
all parts of
interesting. This show is actually quite lovely because you get to come here and see what other organizations are doing.
Yeah.
And work out for yourself if this is a market that we feel is large enough for us to endeavor. Obviously, AI is massive, and I think people still underestimate the value of AI in organizations. With Microsoft and OpenAI pulling together sort of the initial offering, the initial commercial offerings, I feel like they've done such a good job, I think, of really pushing the branding, really pushing it out to the market, and we're pretty excited to be part of it.
No, that's cool. So just as a general model then, presumably you go through the process of researching it, you turn it into a product, you commercialize it, I guess you then potentially move it on. Or you have now a nice portfolio of products that you can manage and support.
Yeah, I think that's the start of some of the stuff, but we're probably a year, as we're developing these, we're probably about a year's lag here because we've been developing two different products, the fax product, and then a click-to-call, click-to-chat application.
Yep.
That started well over a year ago. And so now you get some release of some tools from Microsoft, and you go, okay, now we can execute on this sort of application and bring to the forefront the vision that we had, delivering it, messaging differently than everyone else. Everyone's got this chat box at the bottom of their website, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of annoying to me because it's really
And most of the time it just pops up like, how can I help you? Go away.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's that, but it's not necessarily useful because you don't really trust that there's somebody back there that can actually help you.
That
right?
is very right.
And
Indeed, for the one time I actually tried it, I typed it in and I was like, no response.
right,
No.
right, and that's the thing. It's like, and more the users in the business space are growing up. They grew up with Skype for Business as an example. They grew up, using mobile devices, and more they're leaning towards that from a medium, and phone calls is still number one, but it's starting to subside just a bit, and chat starting to pick up. Right, I think the market's supposed to be a $100 billion market in 2030, somewhere around there. And so that's interesting to us because that's a channel that's going to live on and start to grow rapidly. And that's what we're looking to take advantage of, long-term, reoccurring revenue opportunities like that.
And to pile onto that, kind of the concept of that next product vision is, Rick and I talk about this all the time. Customers often start on your website. Mm-hmm. And we've been stuck in this, I'm going to just throw out a date, not that it's factual, but like this 1990 era, contact us, like very manual. I click a button, it gives me maybe a form fill, maybe gives me a phone number to call.
Right.
And, we're in 2024, you've got the onset of, AI revolution, so to speak. Why not take the customer's entry point and turn it into the first line of communication,
the first interaction,
and
exactly.
actually turn
That's
it
the way to
into engagement. So instead of contacting, now we're going to engage that customer. What I've been socializing with people is your website becomes the modern day IVR.
Yeah.
So it's tracking what you're doing.
That's
I know there's
cool.
privacy things people will get up in arms about, but you're watching what the person is doing, and as they move, you offer little forms of engagement. Hey, do you want to click to chat? Hey, check out, we've got a team here available. Do you want to talk to them?
Here's the team that's available. Here's
Would you
their
like
presence.
would you like to chat
Yeah.
with them? Would you like to just call? And then that development directly into the Microsoft Teams ecosystem leverages now the phone system on the back end within Microsoft to streamline that engagement from the front door.
And I think the added value there is that you can do it through one point, which is email, because you do voice calls, chat calls, and email messages. So simply give us an email and we can improve your service on here. But what's interesting is that this concept you guys have is not new. We were trying to do it in the 80s and the 90s. I got a lot of grey hair. The tech wasn't around the web technologies, but people were talking about websites being that point of interaction. We're never quite getting there, but that's really cool.
CTI,
And,
right?
and I think some of it is over the decades, no one's made it. I mean, I shouldn't say no one, but it's not the simplest thing to set up.
It's too much effort. Yeah, exactly.
It used to be disparate. I've got my website, I've got my phone system, I've got maybe a chat platform.
My socials,
how do I tie it all
yeah.
together?
Right.
Now, what Microsoft through the Power and ACS platforms are allowing us to do is to unify that whole experience.
And that is the ubiquity sort of nature of Microsoft Teams, right? Globally, it's that new sort of, if North America, the AT&T network, the BT network, right? It's the new ubiquitous platform. So if you go build those tools on that platform, and they're a new way to do things, like, I mean, this whole click to chat, it's way underestimated, right? And the approach that we're taking, we'll leave you with a term that's pretty interesting. We called it dynamic widget syndication. And
Say that again?
Dynamic widget syndication. Okay,
Dynamic widget syndication.
So if you think about a widget, that's
Yeah.
what's on your website, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? So that widget is going to change how it behaves based on where you're at on the website what it presents to you. And that's what.
Yeah.
So think about that for a second. So there are, maybe 100 different widgets on 100 different pages, and they act differently because different people may be available to speak to you at that particular time with that particular expertise. So you get what you want. It's all about the customer experience. You get what you want when you're visiting a website, right?
Yeah,
So
what
instead
you
of
want
contact
when
us-
you want.
And
Cool.
And then think about, now let's bring it to AI. Imagine we've got this AI platform now that now I can index my website using AI models so that now as I'm following the user, I know who
Building
my
the model.
employees are. I can associate their skills, let's use contact center terms, to what's on my website to associate it to what he's saying, dynamic syndication of, oh, Rick's the expert because this user is consuming this data model, and we know Rick is the expert, so let's make him the most skilled person to take that engagement communication.
I think you can also build on that because you're also building your personas as they go around the website. You end up with the different type of person. Hey, this one's focused more on the technical stuff, like this one actually is really on the overhead. So there's an assumption if they're on the overhead, they're thinking it might be an idea. If they're technical, they're seriously thinking how it will integrate in. So you're also then changing your pipeline and your percentage and your chances.
Yep.
Pretty cool stuff.
It's
And on this
turning a
note,
website-
we've got one more question, but
Yeah.
carry on. Finish it
I
off
was
and
say,
round it down.
we're making a website a sales site or
Yeah,
a
exactly.
service site, changing the contact us page to an engage us page as an example,
Engage us
right?
page.
Versus just just one-way information pushing out, make it engaging. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. That's fine. We've got 15 minutes and we're kind of rolling along. This is a good conversation. I could do this for an hour. But that'll be cool. So what interest are you getting on the stand? You're getting people actually understanding where you're coming from, because you're not just selling a service here, are you? So
yeah, we've seen lots of interest, right? And we're not just, we actually don't talk very much about the click-to-chat application, right?
Yeah.
Now we're syndicating it out, but we kind of keep that to ourselves a little bit. The fax application has been just a huge success. Brandon's team has done a great job of developing that. We're probably working with some of the largest companies in the world right now on this particular problem, because it's not a problem that's been elegantly solved for Microsoft Teams yet, and we're doing that.
Yeah. But what, in terms of the people visiting the stand, what is the story you're selling?
Global IP and global telephony operator connect provider, and it's traction.
Yeah, with a bunch of value solutions behind it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what I'm seeing as we're at our booth or we're speaking for sessions is what we're doing is we're demonstrating, we're dispelling the doubts of can Microsoft do things, and we're showing real world examples, even as simple as Power Automate flows that tie certain workflows back into the communication process. And it's amazing how even those simple things spark big conversations with customers where or potential customers where they approach us and say, wow, this is really cool. Can I get more detail on this? Are you willing to share this with us? Do I need to buy it? And some of this stuff is really low-hanging fruit that we just hand them and say, you know what? We're not, this isn't a trade secret. Here you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Simple ones. After hours, support, right? People don't handle that very well.
No.
And you can do that with Power Automate really simply.
Agreed. No, it's nice. Well, this was an amazing start to day 2. Really good. Moraine's already on his thinking process, which means he'll be asking questions all day, so that's good. So, Rick and Brandon, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you get some interesting questions today on the stand. And, so
perfect.
Thanks
Thank
for coming on Commsverse TV.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks. We will do. We'll try.
Cool.
All right, that was cool.
Okay, excellent.
Great.
Who do we have? Who do we have next?
We have somebody coming along next from, I think, Analytics 365 when they get here. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much indeed. That was really interesting.
That was really
And you
interesting.
don't trust me. You don't trust me.
Why don't I trust you?
You said I'm going to fact check that. I don't know.
Oh, no, because that
Hey, Greg.
just sounded like a very weird early date.
Yeah, no.
Electricity was not invented or something like that.
Yeah. Well, electricity was, of course, because you were in a telegraph office with the light on, so you could deliver trains at night and
That's
that kind
weird.
of stuff.
It's so weird.
There you go. So that's
Anyway.
another fact you've had today.
It's true.
Faxes were invented before phones. There you go. Greg.
I'm learning.
morning,
I'm
good
learning
morning,
a lot
guys.
of new things today and
Right.
yesterday.
I
so.
heard you talking about fax.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the
what
thing,
year
right?
was the fax invented? Do you know?
What year was it invented?
Yeah, what was the
The
first
first
fax?
When was that sent?
Have a stab.
Oh, man. It's
More or
probably-
less.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm going to say 60s, somewhere in the 60s.
1960s, presumably,
Yeah.
because you're 100 years out.
1865. Really?
Get
I
out
just
of
looked it up.
town.
What?
You didn't
But
believe
how-
me.
They're
when-
still being used
how
today.
Did, how did
So
they,
think about
how
it.
did they
The first
print- how did the
communications
fax
was
get printed?
no idea, but the first set of words was tick, 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 down the old telegraph line,
Yeah.
and so they weren't doing voice on it, but the fax came first, so they were able to transmit images down the lines.
Let me-
It's that cold, was it?
I know it's bitter.
Let me guess. It was Rick who told you that.
No, I just
You just
Googled it.
Okay.
Google told
No,
me
no,
that,
just
yes.
hold on a minute.
I'm
Who
just-
told
No,
you?
Steve told me that, but
And then he
Oh,
had
so
to
you-
double check.
so
of
you
course
knew
I
it,
did
you
not
fact
believe it.
checked.
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
Oh,
Got it.
God. So, Greg, I should say, guys, yes, Anuki's back. Say hi. Anuk.
Hi.
There you go.
Hello,
She,
hello.
she vacated her slot so Brandon could have a mic. There we go.
No, I don't mind at all. I did some other things that needs to be done as well, so
All
all
right.
good.
There we
Nice.
go.
And we got Greg from Tollring.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Morning.
Analytics 365.
They were
Well-
very hard to find at the exhibition space. I've passed by 3 times, but I was looking for Tollring. But it's Analytics 365 that you need to
We've
search
done a
for.
pretty bad job of branding our stand, because quite a few people have come and said, hey, Tollring not got a stand this year? And I was like, yeah, we do. We just don't have our Tollring brand on the stand. So let me explain that one. We have a suite of products designed for teams The brand umbrella name for that is Analytics 365.
Gotcha.
That contains a suite of 3 products, but it's a Tollring brand. And what we've not done is put our Tollring brand on our stand for people that know Tollring. And we've been around for 30 years. We're very well known in this marketplace. So people that are looking for Tollring, it's not obvious, but we are here under the
You're wearing the
Nice.
polo anyway, so people will
Yes.
see
That
that.
is
People
true.
can find us there.
I can tell you one worse
Exactly.
marketing story than that I did once. I was working for a company that cleaned computer rooms, so white level computer room cleaning.
Right.
And so we went to an exhibition and we cleaned everything in the office, the computer rooms, everything else. So I said it'd be a good idea if we put wine on the stand. Get a glass of wine,
Yeah.
come and sit there, show some stuff that's cleaned here, cleaned there, cleaned everybody else. Everybody walked away thinking that we actually provided wine for the industry.
Oops.
Hey, oops, it was, yeah.
So
It was a definite
you,
oops.
you didn't move into that then. You didn't spot the business opportunity.
No. not
we
at all.
actually went into whiskey, so yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a long time ago. My first ever touch of marketing. Not that I'm an expert by a long way, but
Yeah.
one of the you fail fast. That was a fail fast moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wine was good. People had great parties on the stand,
Yeah.
but there you go. That's good.
Brilliant.
So then you said that you've got a nice suite of products. Why don't you give us the elevator pitch on
Sure.
what Tollring actually do and what
Yeah,
they support?
Yeah, thank you. So I think I mentioned we've been in this industry for a long time. In fact, we celebrated our 30th anniversary as a business last month.
Yeah.
And our background, going back 30 years, is in those days building bespoke software that integrated into PBXs, on-premise PBXs that in those days allowed, the majority of our customers were serviced offices that had tenants within the building. They provided a telephone service too and needed a way of billing those individual customers for their telephone usage. So we built software for that. That then evolved into some OEM contracts that we got with PBX vendors like Samsung and Mitel, and we've been in that space for a number of years. And then around 10 years ago, we went through a digital transformation, a transformation of our business from being a traditional software company that would ship service to site, ship CDs to site, physically connect into PBXs, to
Yep.
being a cloud-native business.
Those were the days.
Yeah. So we transformed about 10 years ago to be a cloud-native business, software as a service, and that then opened up other opportunities around Cisco BroadWorks, so the BroadSoft platform, and we've got good integrations there. And then in the last 3 years, obviously with the emergence of Teams, there's been a demand from the market for businesses that are transitioning from using a on-prem PBX to using Teams phone system, and that's led to us developing brand new products for that evolving Teams market. So where we are today is we have a suite of 3 products that are designed exclusively for Teams, built using the latest technology, all hosted in the cloud, really easy to consume, really simple pricing models, and across those 3 product suites we provide analytics for collaboration. So typically large enterprises that have got large dispersed workforces who are using Teams for their internal collaboration, meetings, chat, calling and all of that sort of thing, providing management and typically sort of HR function with insights into the usage of Teams within the business, either in a good way or in a bad way. So really rich analytics around that, delivered in a way that's easy to consume, really nice dashboards and wall boards that are all customizable based on the user's profile and what they want to be able to pull out of Teams.
So the team leader can see, for example, or the manager can see how the team is, how well they're working together.
How they're working together, how well he's using the collaboration tool. So to give an example of a report for a manager, he can see who he's spending his time with. So if you're a manager and you've got a team of 10 people, for example, you might find that you're spending far more time with 1 or 2 people than the rest of your team. Now that maybe points to some training issues or support issues, or just
indecent
you've
behavior.
got a better relationship with that person, and you need to develop relationships with other people. So it gives you insights into that, which without seeing it in a graphical dashboard, you would never really know. You might have a perception that you're spending more time with someone else, but this gives you really clear evidence of that, as I say, in a way that's easy to consume. So that's our collaboration analytics. And then for Teams phone system, we have call analytics, which I would describe as entry level or call center light. So there are a lot of vendors here today who are offering solutions across call management and call center insights.
They are. We spoke to a few of them this week. Yeah.
Right. And where we fit in that sort of in that puzzle, the niche that we fill is really based around our commercials. So we're priced to be accessible for any size business and provisionable for the entire business. So we would typically fit between, let's say in an enterprise where they might have a fully featured contact center, which is probably going to cost around 100, 150 pounds a seat a month to run. We're priced at $2 or £2 a seat. So it's something that you can provide a clear picture of all of the call interactions across your business that maybe flow from the contact center into your back office and give you those insights, again, in easy to consume dashboards and wallboards. And that's a product that we're continually enhancing as the information that we're getting from the Graph API improves, and we're able to then also enhance that through stuff that we can get through our call recording bot, which leads me to the third product that we have in our portfolio, which is our AI-enabled call recording for Teams phone system.
Oh, you said the AI word.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's talking about AI, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I've been to a number of industry events recently where, there's been a lot of hype around AI, and everyone either wants to get AI in their business, or if you're a service provider, you want to be able to offer some sort of AI.
Yeah, I want to have two. Yeah.
You want two AIs. Three? Why not three?
I don't know what they need to do, but I
this
need
is the
two of
thing.
them. Yeah.
But this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype, but no one really knows where the ROI, where's the kind of business case for this. And where we provide the business case in our version of call recording, which is AI enabled, is around really rich insights into the interactions that your team are having with your customers or suppliers or partners. What I mean by that is we record the calls, and this is all our own technology, so we don't partner with a speech-to-text engine. This is all our own technology that we've developed over the years, where we pull the call recordings through speech-to-text and large language models. We can provide you with insights into what is being said. And as a business who uses our call recording, you can set up what we call topics, which are around the things that are important to you, whether it's a sales agenda or a customer service agenda or a compliance agenda. You create those topics, and our software will then deliver up to you all of the call recordings where those things are being talked about by your customers in a way that makes it, again, really easily accessible to be able to listen to those conversations and then take action based on what you're evidencing through those interactions.
And I was just sitting there saying that using those transcripts, using them in a clever way and sticking search on them, or even driving workflows from them, and now using AI to be able to find the relevant information. Yeah, it's got to be the way to go.
Yeah.
And here we are, back to good old text again. Nothing smart, it's just the text from the conversation. Base level.
Yeah. But the ROI question, right? So, we all want ROI, but we all want AI, but why? Like, what is the business case? Are we going to save money? Are we going to make money? There's got to be, if you're going to invest money in something, there's got to be a business case behind it. And the business case for that, for example, would be very, very simple. There are businesses out there who, for compliance reasons, need to listen to every single call, and this is going back before we had things like AI that did this for you automatically. They would have to employ teams of people to listen to every single call, listening out for words that made the call non-compliant, and then evidence that and take action on it. This does all of that hard work for them, so they don't have to have teams of people listening to every call laboriously. The AI does it for you, delivers up that call that's important, and just gives you the snippet of what you need to listen to.
And what do the auditors say when you say, actually, no, we did listen to that because AI actually identified it and we spotted it? But what do they say when you say, well, actually, AI must have missed that one?
When they say, sorry?
AI must have missed that one.
Well, I don't know. We've never had that one actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's acceptable generally anyway if it's a
Yeah.
genuine mistake and it's controlled. So
I think so. Yeah.
No,
As
it's
long
true.
as
Same
you can
thing
evidence
that
you're
we-
doing,
yeah,
best
when
endeavors.
when a person does that, it can happen as well.
Yeah,
I
it's true.
missed that word. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, because you've heard it first here, return on AI. It's not ROI, it's ROAI.
ROI.
ROAI.
Is that you've just coined that?
Yeah,
have you?
that was it. ROAI.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think you need to get that
Return
down
on
in writing
AI.
somewhere. Yeah.
Got it. There we
And then I
go.
guess the last thing to talk about is, how do customers buy this stuff from us?
I'm sure they
Because
just
we
come
get-
with a
we-
check, don't they?
Yes. We take checks. Yeah, by all means.
If they can
Um,
find them on the stand.
That's true. Let's not go there.
Oh,
Okay,
no, no.
we've been there. Yeah, we messed up on that one. But so we, traditionally our routes to market have been through channel partners, service providers, resellers, value-added resellers, that sort of thing. And we're still continuing in that model. But what is changing in the industry is the emergence of marketplaces, right? So the Microsoft Azure Marketplace would be an example of that. So all of our software is now transactable through the Azure Marketplace, which if you're an enterprise customer, for example, and you have an enterprise licensing agreement with a commitment, that means that if you're buying our software through the Azure Marketplace, you're retiring your commitment to Microsoft.
Yep.
So there's real benefit there. Really easy transactable, very easily provisionable, but then also through service providers, companies that are here today, like Call Cabinet is a partner of ours that are taking our product and building it into their Operator Connect model. Scipio is another one.
Yeah.
These Operator Connect accelerators who are building marketplaces. Pinco TCAP is another example of that. And we're going to be in all of these marketplaces. So making it really easy to transact and consume the software for end user customers.
Nice. Well, we wish you a successful second day of the show as
Thank
the
you very
numbers
much.
start to build up.
Yeah.
And I guess yesterday was busy.
It was very busy, yeah.
Sweaty.
Busy and sweaty, yeah. I mean, it looks like it might be a little bit cooler today, which
I
would
think
be,
so. It's feeling
which would
that
be
way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Echo's been on all night, so maybe
It's
we're
been
just
okay,
feeling it at the
hasn't it?
beginning of the
Yeah.
day. Well, Greg, thanks for joining
Thank you
us.
so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
And,
All right, cool.
We will catch up with you next time. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so too.
That's cool. Yeah.
All of this stuff about data.
Yes. And
We
analytics.
heard a lot about data this conference.
Yeah.
No, it is true. We are
Yeah.
one way
So
or
talking
another.
about data, we got a data professional joining us.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
how
good
about
morning.
things?
Things are okay.
And you're
Looking
speaking in
Well, half an hour.
half an hour. We're all set. Demo's working.
I decided not to go for demos this year.
Wise
So,
man.
I've got so
Ooh,
many information.
copped out.
Yeah, no. I've got so much information I want to share,
Oh, okay.
and switching from a demo to. So I didn't want to anger the demo gods this year. So I figured I'll just do it with screenshots and with the focus on what's important. So yeah, it's a choice. Mostly I do demos, but now no, I went for the screenshots option.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm
So
just going to
everything is
wander
set up.
around while you ask a question and readjust that mic.
Okay. Okay. We can also just tell him to readjust it.
Oh,
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He can do that.
Hello.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Oh, so
Yeah,
this is
you-
how it works. It's
Yeah, yeah. You do need to be pretty close up to the mic to have it pick up the right sound.
Yeah, to
right,
stop the
okay.
background noise. It's a noisy old place, this.
Okay.
So there you go.
No problem. No problem.
So first of
Yeah.
all, what does InSpark do?
InSpark. Well,
What
we're-
don't they do? No, sorry. No,
No.
they've been growing a
Maybe
lot.
something
so.
else.
Yeah, they
Maybe
are-
for
yeah,
people
we
that
have.
doesn't know Albert, what is Albert doing in general?
Yeah, let's do that. Who's Albert?
okay.
Well
Uh,
done.
Well, who am I? Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I'm from the Netherlands. I'm 53 years old already.
Really?
Well,
It goes
yeah,
quick,
it's-
doesn't it?
Does it notice?
Okay.
Do you notice? Yeah.
Okay.
Been working in IT for basically all my professional life. Working from doing help desk stuff, going to more consultancy over the years, more working from on-premise to basically like everyone does, going to the cloud. seeing the rise of things like BPOS, Office 365, now Microsoft 365, and yeah, I've evolved like the platforms have evolved, I guess. So grown with how Microsoft has grown. So right now,
Yeah, but now you're mainly doing security stuff,
yeah,
right?
well, that's because my main focus has, well, for a long time been what they called, well, in the time they call it e-collaboration or groupware even. So you might remember Lotus Notes or Groupwise or working together before Microsoft discovered that you could work together electronically. So that's my basis. So I've worked with SharePoint, on-premises, Office Communication Server, Link, all those information worker technologies. But somewhere around probably like 5 to 10 years ago, I figured, well, the data governance stuff, the data security stuff, information protection, yeah, that's really, really important, and it's also very, well, for me at least, very interesting. So yeah, you're correct. I'm now mostly focusing on Microsoft Purview, for example, and the Microsoft Purview on the unstructured side, which is also another Microsoft Purview, of course, more on the structured side of things.
Yeah.
So data security, information protection, encryption, which is what I'm going to talk about in like in half an hour. Data governance, retention, deletion, Copilot, of course.
Really, he's done it. He's mentioned.
Okay.
There's no
He
day without
He did it.
We need an AI tool actually that goes red, amber, green. The closer you get to saying Copilot or ChatGPT, it goes from green to amber, and then when it hears the words, it goes red.
Well, I kind of make a joke in my session, like any presentation right now needs to have Copilot in there. So I do mention Copilot once because it has something to do with encryption. But yeah, I needed to add that, I guess. It's something. Well, if I'm honest right now, there's a lot of resurgence of attention for data classification, data governance, which should have been there like 5 years ago already.
Yep.
And Copilot or AI is really like a catalyst right now for organizations who are, oh my God, we need to take care of that, and we haven't taken care of that like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And now they need to take care of it. So from a data security and governance perspective, it's like, okay, cool, and let's work on that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I heard a lot of buzz about the Copilot for security as well. So it has been taking off, I think.
Yeah, it has. I think you're hearing mixed signals basically. I think that there's a lot of good stuff coming out of Copilot and also Copilot for security. I think what I'm hearing right now also in the community is that there's a lot of discussion about things like pricing and what you get for your buck, if you pardon the expression. So I think Microsoft really needs to look at, okay, how they're going to position this, and so that it really is going to help people and not end up being bankrupt in the process. So yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I think that in terms of a product, it's been interesting for Microsoft. So normally they have 3 years lead up to a product, and then they have been able to build that strategy. Of course,
They have
Copilot.
3 versions, and the
yeah,
third
yeah,
version
exactly.
is typically the good one.
But Copilot came out, it was fairly solid in terms of what it did, and now they're having to work out what the features and the functions are and how they're going to do the integration and how they're going to add the value to those integrations. They do what, 200 connectors now? Every one of those connectors in some way needs a settings and a value and everything else. So, you know, and then eventually I guess this old Copilot Studio stuff is where it's all going to happen. So you end up with another admin and that space around there.
Yeah.
We had a conversation the other day, you've been playing around with it.
Yeah, I'm playing around with Copilot Studio, and I think you can do great things with it, but it's not there yet. It's still missing things to go on. Like if you build Copilot for SharePoint and you want to search for a document or search in a document, it downloads the document on your computer and it's not opening the SharePoint site. So that's not what we want to do. We really would like to have the connection to SharePoint.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting where the expertise
that's what
centers
I'm
on.
missing in it for the moment.
Yeah.
I would like to use a Copilot to replace my intranet. And right now it can't do that because it cannot read pages. Well, it can read pages, but you can't interact about pages and news. So that is something that I would like to
But all these are
see or
small
build or
changes.
whatever.
They're all small changes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what I was talking about here is the kind of big stuff, you know? Yeah, small changes.
It's small,
But the big
All right.
stuff, you know,
but
the kind of thing where you have purview for Copilot. Imagine all of the stuff that's in there around what you're
Oh, no,
creating and
absolutely, yeah.
generating.
But I
Yeah.
do have the question about the session that I was following at BWork before coming here, and maybe Albert knows the answer.
Uh-oh.
Is there
Probably.
Here we go.
If you build a Copilot for SharePoint, it downloads the document. But what if you have a retention policy that doesn't allow you to download the document?
Oh, that's
How
a
it's
very
going
good
to
question.
react on it?
Ooh.
Okay, well, just for setting expectations, I'm not a Copilot expert.
No.
Okay.
I don't really believe anyone is at the moment.
You
because
only
it's
play
new.
one on TV.
Yeah. So the cat's out of the bag. But there are some compliance or data security things associated with Copilot. And one of them is that if you as a user can't access that file, or you can't download the file or whatever, Copilot basically shouldn't be able to do that as well, or can't do that as well. One of the things I'm going to do in my session, or well, at least I'll make a mention of it during the session, is that if you have documents that use sensitivity labels, and those sensitivity labels are configured to encrypt documents or to control the access, as it's now called right at the moment, then you need a specific set of permissions for Copilot to access that file.
Needs
if
to
you-
get access to the key, so otherwise it can't see it. Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a specific permission level, for example, in those sensitivity labels. That's called copy extract. Well, the name kind of says it all, and that's basically the ability to copy paste information from a document. And using a sensitivity label, you can remove that permission. But Copilot needs that permission to create other documents. So if you have labeled documents and you have them really, really highly protected, then there is a big chance that Copilot won't be able to use those documents. And the same probably goes, but I need to test it out myself. The same probably goes with downloading that document. If you set a label to disallow downloading, I would say it won't be able to process that document. Yeah.
So then the question is, what is the value of a Copilot for SharePoint if that's the case? If you are
What, with one thing that doesn't work? Don't be silly. It's something that needs to be fixed. And actually, if you
needs to
set
be
it up right, you wouldn't be able to access the data anyway, so you wouldn't actually need to download it.
Yeah. Well, there was an excellent session by Nikki Chappelle yesterday, and she really explained all those scenarios going from all those unstructured data in OneDrives and in SharePoints, and all those public Teams environments and private, and all those documents which were shared, etc., and how you really can go to a basically a chaotic situation to a more controlled situation, which you need for Copilot. So I think probably the slides will become available on the Just Event app. So her session was really great. But yeah, those are the things we need to consider. And like what Marijn said, like waiting for the next version. I can still remember in my time that organizations were like, we have a policy version +1. So software was released, 1.0. Now we're just going to wait on 1.1 or 1.2, and then we're going to release it. Well, that kind of release management doesn't work anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And so organizations need to really figure out how they're going to take care of that. And that doesn't really have to do anything to do with Copilot, by the way. This goes for Microsoft 365
generally
on the whole as well.
Yeah, it is an interesting one, but that's fine. It's the way the world nowadays. The fact that these things come out, the business needs the feature. You have to break your rollout rules, or you have to compromise in some way.
Yeah.
So it is important. But there you go. So that's neat. All right, let's wind this one up, shall we?
Ready when you are.
Ready. So any last questions for Albert? We're all good. No,
here.
neat. Well,
Good
thank
luck
you
Are
for
you
with your
going
joining
to
us.
session.
go into London and see a show? I know you're big on musicals.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I-
did.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, but that's the more personal side of me. Yeah, I love musicals. So unfortunately, no. But I was considering just extending my stay just for that reason, because there are so many shows. Hamilton. I'd probably go see Wicked again. So it's the
Why?
Phantom of the
It was the
Opera.
worst show I ever saw on the West End.
No, it's
It
great.
was awful.
Nah, it's great. You haven't seen the Willemijn Verkijk version. Okay, but anyway.
Maybe.
So your answering of your question, there's something on the PA right now. No, unfortunately not. If I get the chance, I will probably, but no, not this day.
All right, cool, good.
Yeah, well, we actually going to do some theatre this weekend because my mother wants to see Mrs. Doubtfire the musical, so I'm catching that on Saturday. And I'm also going to see Standing at the Sky's Edge, which is the new one from the National Theatre.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
So
we have something in common as well.
I love music, so whenever I get a chance to London, I try and catch them all. But
Yeah.
yes, Wicked was always bad for me because it took over Starlight Express at the theatre, and I saw that so many times, and then it went and Wicked took over, so I guess it might be
Yeah,
right.
I
But
saw it like 10 years ago, so I'm really looking forward. That's
See
probably
the
one of the reasons
remakes.
I'm going back to London to see
Yeah.
Starlight Express and Phantom for the umpteenth time. I think I saw that like 100
is
times
Starlight
already.
back on again?
Yeah, it is. New production.
Nice. Oh, well.
See,
Nice.
you learned something new
I
today.
did today, yes. I just need to fact check that.
Yeah. All right.
Neat. All right, well, good. Well, thanks, everybody. Have
Good luck
fun.
with your
Enjoy the rest of
session.
the show.
Thank you.
Yes. And we will go with